Hey everybody, I hope you all are doing well. This is going to be a really fun, in-depth, full tutorial, so make sure you watch the whole thing. So I've got a model of mine here. He's originally from India, and he actually was a model. I think he did some work with like Abercrombie. So really great hair, good-looking guy, and he's very concerned with, not going super short throughout the sides. People like this who are doing modeling, they have to sometimes keep their hair a certain length. They don't want to do anything extreme, but as you can see, he's due for a haircut. His sides are a bit longer. We agreed to kind of go a little bit shorter on the sides. I'm using like a 3 3/4, maybe even like a number 4 guard you can use to obviously clean it up a bit and make it look neat. But not everything has to be a lineup skin fade. Not everything has to be, where I'm destroying someone's hairline in the front. Sometimes it's really just the soft touches. And as you can see here, I've barely used any clippers. I mean, I just run around the bottom edges and I'm doing everything by hand. And when you can do haircuts, right? And if you're looking for a haircut that, you want to have a bit more fine-tuned and you don't want it to be super short, but you want it to look neat, ask the professional to say, hey, can you like maybe do the edges with clippers, but do everything scissor over comb or by hand? Because that, to me, in my opinion, yes, it's more work, and not everybody is skilled at doing scissor over comb, but it grows out very natural. It's an amazing way to blend the hair. It gives it the softest, most natural look, in my opinion. And as you can see, I'm doing a lot of scissor work. So I'm just following the head shape, and I'm just doing everything by eye to make sure that, it's just the right length. He's not going to be freaked out that it's too short, but he's going to notice that we gave him a haircut, which is really important, especially when people are doing modeling and stuff like that or acting. Maybe their hair doesn't have to be or can't be a 0 skin fade. It has to be a certain length. So the important thing for me here is to make sure that the entire top is balanced. I'm taking maybe a 1/2 inch off of the length, no more than 1 inch, and I'm working in the shape to go, shorter to longer in front. He already had a relatively, good haircut from before. So I'm just putting my kind of style into it and working off of what he had, but also giving it my touch. And I'm over directing by pulling everything back. So we're leaving that length. Now, sometimes I do this and I end up going back in to go shorter because it may be still a bit long in the front. But keep in mind that once you go too short in the front, so if you're getting a haircut, and let me know in the comments below if you've ever experienced this, but have you ever experienced where you want to grow the front out or the top and the person cutting it just cuts it too short, and then you're back to square one again? You're like, great, now I got to grow it out for another month because he just cut it or she just cut it. But the important thing is if you're a stylist or barber doing this, make sure you really go over and over, double check, triple check, make sure that, before you stop cutting, that you think it's the right length, that the client or the model thinks it's the right length. Make sure it's laying properly. Don't be ashamed to go back in, because once they leave that door, they may never be coming back. They may be ready to post a negative review. It all really, you got to make sure it's really accurate. As you can see, even for me, I was like, you know what? It needs to be a little bit shorter, So I'm just working my hands through the hair and feeling. Now I'm doing some texturizing, which is really important. So I'm point cutting. I'm doing this all manually by hand. I went back into to make sure it's the right length, made sure it's not wasn't like too long in certain areas. The twist and chomp method is really great. He was open to letting me do this because he wanted a bit more texture. This is a do it at your own risk. But if you're, going to a professional, or if you are professional, I've never done this technique, it's amazing on thick hair. It gives really good texture. And as you can see, we took some hair off on the top and gave it a very clean, pretty much like Abercrombie model type look, where it's very lightly tapered, very neat looking. This would come out great on camera for photo shoots. It'll style very easily. And a lot of it, as you can see through here, was just working up the foundation, to keep it looking very neat, but also where it doesn't look like he had a skin fade from a barber shop. I wanted to keep everything balanced. I wanted to keep everything symmetrical. I used my product talc Talc is a great product for something like this that keeps it very matte looking. It allows you to go in and add some added texture to it, as you can see. And these types of styles, the more you mess it up and try to mess it up with your hands, the better it's going to look. I dabbed it on. What you don't want to do, and a lot of people, they just start dabbing and pressing down on the head. You don't want to do that. So he hasn't seen it yet. I'm ready to show him in the mirror, the hand mirror, and yeah, already he's like, man, this is great. I love it. It's awesome. You know, he's now, you can see by running his hands through it, he's like, see, he's checking for the length. He wants to make sure that it's not too short, but it's got that texture. So this is exactly what he wanted. This would look incredible for a formal event, just casual, wake and wear, mess it up, and it was an awesome experience. So if you are interested in purchasing, talc or any of my products, use code YouTube20. That's YouTube20 at shop.thesalonguy.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.